What is going on, guys? My name is Dustin and welcome back to the channel. Now, I put off making this video for a few days only because I had to kind of take in the information that I had received and kind of process it, and it was a very hard thing to process. You guys can tell by the title of the video, but if you didn't pay attention to that or to the thumbnail, if you don't follow me on Twitter or watch my weekly vlogs, then you guys may not know. Hence why I'm making this video now, to keep everybody in the loop as to what has transpired over the past couple weeks. So last Thursday actually, I had tested positive for COVID-19, aka coronavirus. You know, the virus that is literally taking over the world and has been for months now. Yeah, I had that. And I just want to note, even though I did test positive for it last week, I am now feeling better. I just have a slight lingering cough, but all the health people that have been blowing my phone up since I tested positive has told me that that usually tends to linger around, but I am no longer infectious, which is good. The reason I'm making this video is because maybe you guys are sick or have not been feeling well and maybe scared to get tested, and I kind of want to talk about my symptoms and what I did to keep not only myself safe, but everybody around me, my family included. So, yeah. I also want to note that I feel like I won the COVID lottery with my symptoms because they were very minor compared to what some people have experienced, and I'm very grateful for that. But we'll get more into that as I go through the symptoms and kind of what I had and what other people have experienced as well. So before we get into it, I just want to say, I know this virus thing has been super politicized and people are bringing the government into it and saying all these crazy off the wall things. I am not a person that likes talking about politics. I don't care about any of that stuff. I never have. I never will. Say what you want, but if you're one of those people that wants to take this to a political level, stay out of my comments. Click off this video because I don't care what stupid stuff you have to spew in my comment section. This is what I felt. This is, my experience. I don't care what you have to say because you probably didn't even experience what I experienced, so keep politics out of it. So I want to start off with kind of when things started to go downhill for me, I guess. We're going to go back about probably like close to a month now, 3 weeks or so. I been having some gastrointestinal problems, gastrointestinal belly problems. Okay, stomach problems. Right, my stomach's been bothering me. This is gonna be TMI, but diarrhea and nausea and all that, like the whole 9 yards, just stomach bothering me randomly. Didn't think anything of it. Thought, oh, maybe it was just because I was eating not very good food and it was just affecting me different. But it never really went away until recently. So that kind of started it, but I just kind of shrugged it off. So this all happened like over a weekend for me when it all just kind of hit at once. But the stomach problems have lingered around for probably like a week and a half before the other stuff started to. So we get to a Thursday, and this was back like towards the end of June. So it was like the last Thursday of June, and I noticed that I kind of had a scratchy throat. Not a sore throat, it was just scratchy. It just kind of felt weird. And I kind of, over the day Thursday, have developed this like dry cough. And I didn't think anything of it because earlier that day I had taken a drink of water and it went down the wrong pipe. And, when that happens, which I'm sure it's happened to everybody, you start coughing like crazy. So I thought the cough was due to the scratchy throat, and the scratchy throat was due to the water traveling down the wrong pipe and making me cough. So that happens. It's very normal. Except the scratchy throat into Friday never went away. It was all it was still there, and the cough was still a very dry cough, but it wasn't like a violent cough. So that happened Thursday. The cough and stuff lasted Friday. Same thing with the stomach problems. Saturday, this is when everything started to go bad. I fell asleep Friday night and probably had one of the best sleeps I've had in a very long time. But Saturday morning, at 6 a.m. on the dot, I was completely woken up out of a dead sleep because my stomach hurt really bad. I got up, went to the bathroom, and I noticed when I got up, I kind of felt weird. Like my body, like I just felt off, and I associated that due to the fact that I was sleeping really good and just complete like wide awake out of a dead sleep. And went to the bathroom, had relief. I came back, I went back to sleep. I did have to go to work this day, and I got up later on to go to work at like 10 o'clock, so I fell back asleep for like 4 hours, or maybe a little less, maybe like 3.5 hours, and I woke up, and I noticed when I woke up again, I felt weird, like my whole body just felt off, my equilibrium was thrown off, like something to me just didn't feel right. And basically, if I can describe the feeling, it was my head felt empty, but my body felt heavy. And that was it. I was like, okay, maybe I just need some food, maybe I need some caffeine, maybe I just need to get a shower and just kind of start my day. So I got a shower, ate breakfast, had a cup of coffee, and I didn't feel any better, but then again, I thought like, okay, maybe if I just continue throughout my day, like everything will kind of kick in and I'll be good to go. So I get ready to go to work, and I come upstairs, and I was like something told me to just take my temperature, because we have a thermometer here because we have kids. So I do my temperature, and it was like 99, which is a little high, but it's still safe. Because they consider anything over 100.4 to be like dangerous, like you need to not go to work or something, like you need to rest and relax and get that fever to go down. But it was at 99. Now I get my temperature scanned at work as well. I drive to work, and I notice I'm not feeling any better. Again, my head feels empty, my body feels heavy. And it never got better. And as I was like walking around doing my job, I noticed that my head started to hurt. And all of a sudden, I started to get like tunnel vision, right? Like I started to get sweaty, I started to get tunnel vision, and I knew right then and there that something was wrong. Long story short, I left work that day. I come home, and I'm dead tired. Now, mind you, again, the fact that I had great sleep the night before, like I slept solid, like 8 hours, no dreams, nothing, complete dead sleep. It was such a good sleep. But I was so worn down and so tired, and I was like, maybe I didn't really sleep that good. But I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh, I definitely slept good. So I come home, and I just laid in bed. My head just ached, and I just laid in bed, and I couldn't really eat anything. It just like I felt sick. Sunday rolls around, and I was off work Sunday and Monday this week. So this is like literally the last weekend in June. And I just felt not good. And thank God I was off for like Sunday and Monday, like I said, so I had time to recover. So that's all I thought. I was like, okay, maybe this is just like a cold, maybe it's like a 24-hour bug, maybe it's something that is just going to go away. Sunday was probably the worst day out of them all, because not only did I not sleep good Saturday night, Sunday I dealt with terrible headaches all day and body aches. And when I tell you, like, my body ached. It felt like I had somebody on each arm, in each leg, and they were just squeezing my legs and my arms, and it felt like I was being ripped apart. It felt like the people were pulling me apart at my joints, you know, and it just hurt. And I was taking ibuprofen, and I was taking Tylenol like every 4 hours, and it just never went away. And it stayed like that all day. I was so tired, but yet I was in so much pain that I couldn't sleep. The medicine wasn't helping. So it kind of got to a point later that night where it subsided, and I was able to get up and like go take a shower. And when I was in the shower is when I kind of started to notice something odd. I was like going to wash my body, and I could barely smell my body wash. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, there's no way I'm getting used to this already. But like normally you would smell that type of stuff. And same thing with like the shampoo and the conditioner. You would notice the smell, and it was very faint. So I come upstairs after my shower. I put my deodorant on, and something like just tell me to sniff it. And I did, and I could barely smell it. Mind you, this is brand new deodorant. Like, I had just opened it that night. Like, it should have a very strong smell, because that's the reason I picked it. I was like, that's really weird. Again, didn't think anything of it, never associated it with COVID at all, and I went to bed. I woke up Monday morning and I noticed that when I would breathe through my nose, it would burn. And that was odd. I was like, okay. But I was never stuffed up, never congested, never felt like that. And I got up and I was just going about my day. And I think I like went into my fridge and I opened like a can of Pepsi. I took a sip and it was like water. I didn't taste it. And I was like, okay, maybe I just got like a bad can or something. You know, that could happen. I just kept finding excuses as to why this stuff was happening to me because I never associated it with COVID until later on this Monday. But so I like drank it all and I got something else out and I tried to eat it and I noticed I couldn't taste. And I was like, what the heck? Like, I can't taste anything at all. Like, not even a tiny bit. So then I started like smelling things all around the house, right? Like candles. I literally picked up a container of bleach, opened it up, stuck my nose in it, sniffed, nothing. So my taste and my smell were 100% gone. This freaked me out. And this is when I started to think, okay, like maybe this is something a little more serious, you know? And I called my family and they're like, oh, maybe it's just a sinus infection. And that's what Trista said as well. She's like, maybe it's just a sinus infection, a really bad cold that can happen. And I was like, but listen, like I've had sinus infections and this doesn't feel like a sinus infection. I'm not congested. My nose isn't running. I can breathe like perfectly fine. Everything was fine. I just couldn't taste or smell. So I finally, like later on that day, I did research all day and I was like, no, you know what? Like this isn't right. I feel like I should be tested. And everybody's like, you're crazy. You don't need to get tested. It's all, they're just going to lie. And they're just going to make the numbers go up. And I was like, but I feel like I should be tested because I don't feel right. So Monday I had made the decision I was going to get tested. Now I was supposed to return to work Tuesday. So I called my job. I spoke to one of the managers and I was like, hey, look, I literally have no taste, no smell. I've had fevers, because I had fevers. So I forgot to mention this. When I left work that Saturday, my temperature was high. I come home, my temperature was 101. My temperature never exceeded 101, but that was the highest it was the entire time. And it would like come and go. So very important note. I forgot to add that in there. I'm so sorry. But I decided to go and get tested. Now, this test I did was a drive-through self-administered test. So my brother actually works for the pharmacy where this test was being held at. So, he actually sent me the stuff. I had to go online. I had to make an appointment. And the earliest I could do it was Wednesday. So Wednesday being July 1st is the day I got tested. And I set it for I was like 8:30 or 8:30 in the morning or something like that I set it for. I can't remember, but not that that's important. So we go into Tuesday, still no taste, still no smell. Wednesday, day of testing, I get up, still no taste, still no smell. The cough is back, and it's really starting to mess me up. It kind of mellowed out for a couple days, and then it was really bad on the day of the test. So I go, I take the test, I shove these Q-tips up my nose. I got that all on video on my vlog. So that happened. It was awful. And I come home, and I went back to sleep. I woke up, and again, no taste, no smell. And this is when I started to notice, earlier in the day, or throughout that day, throughout the day, Wednesday, the day I was tested, I noticed that just little things I was doing started to knock the wind out of me, and I had shortness of breath, but it wasn't painful. And I just want to say I had every symptom on the list of symptoms, minus the trouble breathing or the painful breathing. So I never went to the hospital or anything like that. That's something that I never experienced. And I know some people said that they felt like they were dying when they had it. I did not have the difficulty breathing at all, just random bits of shortness of breath with things that normally wouldn't take my breath away, just walking up or down the steps. I would be so winded and I would have to sit down, and I didn't realize it. I didn't realize what was going on. And this is kind of when I started to tell myself, even though I was just tested that day and they said that my results weren't going to be available to me for another 72 hours, which is 3 days, I basically convinced myself that I had it, even though I was unsure. And that's how I was able to kind of like distance myself from everybody and isolate, because I was like, even though I didn't know, again, I still treated it as if I did and if I knew, and that it came back positive. And I think that was really my saving grace in keeping everybody around me from getting sick. It was the fact that I like put that in my mind of like, you definitely have it. Of course, you know, my family and my friends, they didn't want to believe it. They're like, dude, there's no way, you know, like, there's no way you have that. And I was like, I'm telling you, something doesn't feel right. So the no smell and no taste lasted for 9 whole days, and it was awful. And because I couldn't smell anything, I couldn't taste anything. And because I couldn't taste anything, it made eating very unenjoyable and very unappetizing. And I am somebody that loves to eat. I love to snack. I love to try new foods. And I couldn't enjoy anything. So when I would have food in front of me and I would start to eat it and I couldn't taste it, it would make me feel sick. And that's when the nausea would come in. And I would just feel sick, and sometimes my body would ache and throb, and I was miserable. So fast forward, like I said, the taste and smell, no taste, no smell, lasted 9 days. I got my test results back last Thursday. So it took them 8 days to get my test results back when they said it should only have taken 3. And I tested positive. So yeah, I survived COVID-19, and I just want to encourage you guys that if you feel ill and you have any of the symptoms that maybe I had, get checked, get tested. I know it's terrifying. I know that people are iffy about the nasal tests, but if that's your only option, please do it. If you go out in public, wear a mask. If you're sick, just don't even leave your house. Wear a mask to protect other people. I was at work for 9 hours a day with a mask, with gloves, and I still managed to get sick because people didn't want to wear a mask. That mask may not protect you, but it can protect other people. Sure, it's not 100% guaranteed to protect somebody, but it's a lot less likely to happen if you just wear the mask for the 20 minutes that you're in a store, 10 minutes you're in a store, whatever it may be, because those people there that work there that are wearing those masks are there for 8+ hours every single day to provide you with the stuff that you need and the stuff you want. Don't be an idiot. Wear a mask. Also, don't listen to the media, because they blow this stuff way out of the water. Let my case be known that, yes, COVID is very, very real, and it affects people on a day-to-day basis. It affected me. It affected my family because I was sick. Super thankful none of them got sick. That was my number one concern, was them. Whatever happened to me, whatever. I'll deal with whatever gets thrown at me. But I just wanted everybody else around me and close to me to be safe, and I isolated myself, and everybody was fine. Do the same. If you're sick, don't be around people. Please, please, please. Because even though I had very minor symptoms, it wasn't fun. And I just wanted to tell you guys my story, that I have had COVID-19 and I survived it, and here I am, obviously, like, alive and well. Like I said, still a bit of a lingering cough, but I'm no longer infectious, and I haven't been for a few days now, and I return to work very, very soon. So just please, guys, don't be stupid. If you have any questions about maybe something specific, leave it down in the comments, and maybe I'll answer them. Or if you guys feel like that it's video worthy and you want me to make a video talking about it, I can do that as well. But again, this virus is very, very real, you know, and I survived. I'm very thankful to be sitting here and talking to you guys and being able to share my experience with this on such a platform that you guys have given me. And I just hope that you guys stay safe. I really do, because I don't want anything to happen to you guys. Again, if you feel sick, stay away, make an appointment, get tested, protect the other people around you, because it's not fun. So I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.